Hey guys, John here, back with another one for you. Today I want to talk a little bit about the big secret, or really non-secret, to being successful in this industry. And I want to use an example from someone that I got a message from today. But what you're looking at here is I got a message from him about a month ago, and I'm going to read the key part. So he said, I'm an established IT guy. I've been on my own since 2003. I've seen my workload steadily increase over the years due to better hardware, more stable operating systems, and a nonstop push of all services to the cloud. My workload is now quite literally running from one emergency to another, break-fix work mainly now, and my quality of life is really taking a hit. And so he sort of goes on and says, I want to jump into coding, but I wonder if it's any different and so forth. And I had done a video where I answered him. You may have seen that video and so forth. But this was from Scott. And so it's now, again, a month later, and I just received this message from him. So he says, John, I cannot tell you how grateful I am for your work. I sit here happily typing away because I now have free time on Labor Day weekend. A local law enforcement agency contacted me in a panic to get a project done, something I've wanted to get into, and your tutorials helped me get my first PHP project done. Since this is for law enforcement, it will be difficult to use as a portfolio item, but I will figure out a way to sanitize it for public consumption. You have no idea how many people's lives you touch every day. Thanks again, sir. So obviously, first off, that's awesome to hear, and I appreciate the kind words and so forth. But, you know, some of you out there seeing something like this might think, well, it's only been a month, and how did things change so quickly? But it's sort of obvious to me what happened because I get all the notifications. And these are all the notifications related to Scott's activity on Facebook and things that I've posted over there, Patreon, which he became a Patreon supporter, over on Skillshare, all the classes he's gone through, and so forth. He has absolutely tore into all of this training and all of this learning. He took my beginner's guide to PHP and got all the way through that. He dove into my freelancing on Upwork course. I've seen him comment on my login script tutorial course, so I assume he's going through that. He also hired a pro photographer to take his headshot, started working on YouTube videos, just took insane amounts of action. This is far more in a month's time than probably anybody else that I've ever sort of interacted with. So just crazy amounts of action. And if he keeps it up, it's going to be almost impossible for him to lose, because no matter what happens, no matter how things change, how the industry shifts, the new things that come out, you know, how our industry is constantly evolving, it doesn't matter, because he has an insane work ethic and is just going to grind through it no matter what it is, and is going to dive in head first. That's the secret. That's the attitude to have, which of course is no secret at all, but so few people actually do it. They get so caught up in either trying to take the right steps and to do everything exactly perfectly, or being scared and nervous, understandably so, to get started, or take risks, or take leaps of faith, or so skeptical and jaded that they just kind of sit around pointing fingers at everybody else and never actually do anything. And so again, you know, the big secret is just putting all of that stuff to the side and diving in and working as hard as you can and tackling all this stuff and tearing through it just like Scott has. And it's sort of amazing how quickly things can happen when you do that. And when you combine that insane work ethic with the right training, you're basically unstoppable. And so that's what I just wanted to give you an example of someone who's actually out there doing it. Hopefully that'll maybe give you some inspiration to see how quickly things can turn around. Someone who was feeling completely overworked and overwhelmed by their current job, now actually being able to take a vacation and a holiday because they've made a bunch of changes in their career and have taken a ton of action. So it can happen quickly. It takes a lot of action in order to get there, a lot of hard work to get there. But once you build that foundation over a few months or a few years, things start to pile up in your favor and it gets easier and easier. So that's what I would encourage you to do. Take tons of action. Don't be afraid to take risks, take leaps of faith. Whatever you decide to do, dive into it head first and really go after it. That's, again, the big secret to all of this. Anyway, if you're ready to grind like Scott did, then you can take the exact courses he took. You can see him over here. I've got my beginner's guide to PHP, object-oriented programming PHP, secure login script, a whole bunch of other projects here. My beginner's guide to HTML, freelancing on Upwork, so forth and so on. And you can get access to all of this for absolutely nothing as a teacher over on Skillshare, I can give you a 2-month free trial. You get full access to all of my courses plus 21,000 other courses on the site. You can grind through as many of those courses as you want. There's freelancing, other web development courses, graphic design, whatever it is you need to learn. There's most likely a course over on Skillshare for it. So grind through those like Scott did in that 2 months. Then you can cancel anytime before the 2 months is up, and you won't pay a penny. So it's a really good way to get that training, have the right training to grind through, and combine that with your work ethic without having to pay a bunch of money to do that. So the link for that is johnmorrisonline.com/Skillshare. I'll also put that in a link to that in the description below as well. So again, johnmorrisonline.com/Skillshare. All right, that'll do it for this one. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you next time.